Okay, I hope we can all hear me now. Thank you so much for joining, folks. Can we all hear me now? I think it was glitching a little bit at the beginning there. Hi, Novi. Hi, Tamika. Hey, Connie. Hi, Quinn. Hey, Susie Q. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Black Queen. How you doing, Black Queen? Hey, Peach Rose. Yeah, copy cook. Go from copycat to copy cook. By the way, guys, I don't know if it's actually Meghan, but Meghan's account has been popping up in people's like story views. I don't even know if I said this at the time. Maybe I just didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but I saw Meghan's account pop up in my personal account's stories. Because like when you watch someone's stories, their view, like you can see it. So she or her team definitely snoop around. All right, let's get on to it. Got some great things to go through. Meghan's appearance at the Fortune Most Powerful Women was lovely. We've got some interesting insight from her, and it's just great to see more of her business mind evolving and us getting to hear just more from her from that side, the business side of Meghan. Right, before we get into that, just a reminder, my family, Sussex Squad Family TV, Brian from Sussex Squad Family TV, will be on my podcast on Sunday, 6 p.m. UK time. Decided to pick a weekend so that it was more accessible for everyone if you wanted to watch the live. I'll be doing a discussion with Brian and also taking calls. So we'll have a discussion and then I'll start inviting you to join the discussion also. Here is his channel. If you haven't subscribed to him already, make sure you go. He is 100% on these streets for Harry and Meghan. Electra, does Meghan have one more award in LA tomorrow? Not that I'm aware of. Is there some kind of award show that she could potentially show up to? Because I don't know what's happening in LA. Kevin Sims said, Brian is a bigger fanboy than I am. 100%. Stands hard. Sometimes I think he even makes 2 videos a day. Right. So yeah, make sure you log into that. And there's the link again. Subscribe. Support other Squaddy channels. So Meghan at the Fortune event, it's very much giving Rachel Zane, is it not? This look of the color blocking with the leather skirt and the flowy top, this is actually a signature for her. So she's referenced this quite a lot over the years, pre-royal life and royal life, and even now. Very, very, very signature for her. But I was really loving the outfit that she chose. Just this very kind of soft, it's kind of like a soft lavender pink. Lovely. With the slick down hair, central part. Also, look for her that she's worn a lot. A lot of people zoomed into the hand on her right hand, like this clasp kind of style of jewelry that's becoming quite popular. Schiaparelli did a version of this for their last collection. It was like a claw. So it's kind of like a reverse ring, I guess you could say. Almost, but not quite like knuckles. But that piece of jewelry is actually from a Ukrainian designer. And then I believe the skirt is a Cali designer, both female designers. And what details did we get from the event? Well, So a few things. Meghan reflected on her journey, and especially the time. Sorry, give me a sec. Especially the time after her and Harry left the UK, and the presenter asked her, what was that time like, or what did that look like in terms of you trying to map out where you were going to go forward? And she actually shared that, that was actually a time of reflection, of nesting and healing. And she also, noted that many people thought that she would go into fashion or beauty, but her passions for cooking and entertaining and connections is what eventually led her to create As Ever and go down that path first. And that the idea grew out of her own experiences during COVID, when she often made jam and home cooked meals. She also explained that when she returned from Paris, she actually spent the day in California with the kids before traveling to New York and then Washington, D.C. for the summit. She was like, no, I have to see my babies first. Such a mum. And she also spoke for the first time about her and Harry's Netflix deal, explaining I think her people already, did her people put out a direct statement? I can't remember, but there was so much speculation about the Netflix deal. But from the horse's mouth, she said that it had been converted into a first look deal, similar to the Obama deal. And then when asked about the future of her Netflix lifestyle series with Love Meghan, she mentioned that the holiday special would be premiering in November and would also be featuring things like her signature gift wrapping business, techniques that she used to use when she had a gift wrapping business. That's back when she did gift wrapping and calligraphy when she was an auditioning actress. She also reflected on the demands of TV production, referencing her time on Suits, and shared that she's experimenting with shorter, more accessible forms of content as part of her As Ever brand evolution. So the question of TikTok actually came up. And that's when she went on to explain that. But she was very hesitant about TikTok, and I can totally understand why. It's not that you can't control certain elements of TikTok, but just the whole platform itself. It's just, I feel like you can, even with restrictions, you just feel the fire a little bit more on TikTok, I think. Also, she did mention, how can we take elements of With Love Meghan and turn it into the short form content. So I'm assuming that maybe they'll start doing more like short form videos. We're seeing like more behind the scenes stuff that she's, done in New York and in Washington. She also posted another video, like behind the scenes video of her time in Washington. And there was this cool moment. I guess this was on the plane back. She sat with the captain and the staff, thumbs up. There was also the co-captain on the other side, a woman. And they had their little selfie in the cockpit. So I'm assuming going forward now we'll see more stuff like this. I think it would be great if the As Ever brand, or even Meghan herself, gone on TikTok. She does have a huge fan base there. Oh, the Duchess of Success official TikTok, by the way, hit 1,000. Just remembered, we hit 1,000. Well, we hit 1,000 and then we're back to 999, but I usually grow by about 10 or 20 people a day. So thank you to everyone who's subscribed to the Duchess of Success Daily on TikTok. And hopefully Meghan's people will find a way of making her feel safe on that platform, or even if it's just like reposting stuff that, they make and she doesn't have to look on it. I just think that the brand should be on TikTok, even if she doesn't, hover around that space herself. The potential is just incredible, even with all of the drama with TikTok and who's recently bought it and all that stuff. For a cooking brand, it's safe. So yeah, that was, what else? Have I missed anything from the Fortune interview? No, it was a very great interview. The interviewer asked some good questions. Yeah, other than I guess the details about With Love Meghan coming in November, and Meghan mentioning, the time that her and Harry, when they first moved to the US, it was like a time of healing. There wasn't really anything like wholly new, but it was a well presented interview, and Meghan, as ever, was just very confident and spoke well, as she always does, and looked great. What did y'all think of it? Have you watched any of the other interviews yet? I need to go back, and I'd love to see the one with Kamala Harris. I haven't watched that one yet. Oh my gosh, almost forgot. Yes, very important actually. How could I even forget? Oh, almost forgot the most important thing she actually said when she spoke about financial independence. Yes. Oh my gosh, how could I forget? So at the very end of the interview, she spoke about financial independence and the importance of women being financially independent, and also women supporting other women, and the fact that she pours into other women's businesses as an investor, and just how us supporting each other, just, you know, it fills everyone's cup. And yes, indeed, especially in the political times that we are in, and the way they're trying to, you know, roll back our rights and freedoms, it is more important than ever for women to have that cushion for themselves, and to also support other women. I think there is a lot of propaganda, a lot of, let's go back to the so-called good old days propaganda, especially on social media, permeating social media, permeating the political zeitgeist. So I think for someone like Meghan, and this is actually the second time this conversation has come up with her. In her last interview, she spoke about, you know, the whole thing about trad wives, and, you know, it's still important. It doesn't matter what position you are in, even if you have the wealthiest, nicest partner, as a woman, you need your own money. Like, there should be no discussion about this. You need your own money. And even if you're not working, you should have some kind of savings always as a woman. Even if you have a wealthy partner, or you're a stay-at-home parent, you need to be financially independent. And I love that Meghan, a woman who entered an institution that we're told is meant to be a fairy tale, then you meet the prince and they're happily ever after, and we all know that that's just a lie now. I love that a woman in her position is saying this. I think it's so important for women and young girls of all ages to hear. And from her, I think it's even more powerful. All right. That is all I wanted to say about I had to say about this. Hi everyone, if you're just entering the chat, thank you so much, Kevin Sims, for super chat. You said, how is it she has a different look for every event? She has a stylist done. She has a stylist. I forget his name, Ben something. And then obviously usually Daniel doing her makeup. But if you look at the behind the scenes that she posted, you can see she has a whole rack of clothes. So she has her glam squad. Most women in media do. They'll have their glam squad, and then they'll have their stylists to help them organize their closets. That actually brings me to another thing, because as always, people like to pocket watch Meghan. There was this in the Daily Mail. Whenever it decides to appear on my screen, sometimes it takes longer on my side. Meghan risks being called out of touch again as she posts highlight reel of New York with rows of shoes and clothes. Out of touch to who exactly? Out of touch to the same people who thought that it was not relatable to cook healthy meals, to present your food properly on plates, to keep your house clean. If she risks being called out of touch by those people, then I see no risk here. Mind you, Meghan has always had a big collection of shoes. This is a post from back in her pre-royal days. Thank you, Louis Vuitton World, for sending me such beautiful options. She had designers like Louis Vuitton sending her shoes, and I'm sure she bought many of her own. And you can see the Louis Vuittons are the same ones that she had from years ago in her closet now. So she obviously keeps her designer shoes very well. And these shoes are built to last. Especially Louis Vuittons do hold up very well. So they're out here pocket watching, but the money for these shoes either came out of Meghan's own pocket in her pre-royal life, or they were sent to her by the designer themselves. Jealous. And it just goes back to what Meghan was saying about financial independence and why financial independence is so important, especially in regards to the royal family. They use money to control them. That's why you had Harry living like a Cinderella, buying discount meat and shopping from TK Maxx. And if that's for the spare, what more the spares? People like Edward, Sophie, Anne. That's why Anne's out here breaking her back, doing 355 million engagements every single year. Now we all know the truth. I've seen the inside of Anne and her husband's house. I mean, that's a stately home, but the state of it, Jesus, you couldn't pay me to live there. I would rather live in an average house that's very nicely decorated, thank you very much, instead of a dusty castle that clearly needs renovation. Dear oh dear, it's not a fairy tale life. And that's why you should be financially independent, like Meghan said. And, you know, calling Meghan having Louis Vuitton shoes unrelatable. You can buy discount Louis Vuitton shoes on eBay. Some lady that wants to sell her Louis Vuittons. You know what's not relatable? Being in golden carriages. Rolling around in golden carriages. Having a fresh start at a stately home, which is what, your fourth or fifth stately home that the taxpayer is renovating? Or they're telling us that they're going to renovate this one, please. Where's that money coming from? It's coming from the Dutch, you know? Oh, this isn't going to be their forever home, by the way. Kensington Palace was meant to be their forever home. Kevon Slims, does Kate have a stylist? I don't know. I don't know if they've replaced Natasha the stalker, who was out here following all of Meghan's friends. Dear oh dear. Yeah, Meghan is such a great speaker, never reads any notes and just speaks from the heart. Yeah, have your own money, your own accounts too. Literally, you said Meghan came into that awful place with her own money. She didn't come in poor like they tried to portray. Yes, and they tried to drain her resources. And they withheld any funding. Charles is saying, oh, they had no money for her. How can you have no money for her? I still believe that we don't really know fully how royal money is spent. I don't believe we know. I think that there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Oh God, has there been music playing in the back? Hang on a minute. Guys, you know, I had no idea that there was music playing in the background. Did you all hear that? It's actually been on very, very low. But I didn't realize that there was music. I didn't realize there was music. Did you realize that there was music? Oh gosh. I'm so sorry if it was so low you could barely hear it. But I was just like, wait, where? I suddenly just heard like noise. You don't hear, oh, thank goodness. Do you know, it was so low. I'm glad you couldn't hear it. It was like a little jingle in the back. Well, I've switched it off now. If you're watching on replay and you go back and you turn up the volume really, really loud, you can probably hear it. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, Leslie, but Charles could pay for security and expenses for all of Camilla's kids. Oh dear. I'm glad we're out of that time. Also, in light of the Daily Fail calling Meghan having shoes unrelatable or whatever it is, what did they say? Sorry. That she risks being called out of touch. Of course, the squaddy came back with clapbacks. Charles finds flying first class incredibly uncomfortable. This was back in 2017. The staunch environmentalist was reportedly attempting to reduce his carbon footprint by reducing his use of private charters. However, a book claimed that while on his return flight home, he wrote a letter to a friend complaining about the incredibly uncomfortable seats located in the upper class deck and longed for the use of his own private jet. These people. I mean, mind you, first class can cost thousands depending on the airline and the route that you're on. And apparently it was uncomfortable for Charles. Also, there was somebody found this. Shout out to the squaddies who look up these things. Camilla's high heels leave a huge carbon footprint. The Duchess of Cornwall had a favorite pair of shoes flown 3,000 miles to Kuwait for a lavish dinner with senior members of the Kuwaiti royal family. That was back in 2012. And we would have never even dug this up if they had kept Meghan out of their mouths, talking about how she risks being called out of touch. Meghan having her own shoes is out of touch, but flying a pair of shoes 3,000 miles isn't out of touch, apparently. Shoes. And they've been like this. And every time they try to use Meghan as a shield, we will remind them of how they were. On to the next thing. William, Kate, and their lack of work ethic. So this is William's work schedule, his work-shy work schedule of engagements for September and October. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. About 13 odd engagements. But if you actually add all these up in terms of hours, so this is spread across from September to now, mid-October. So this goes all the way until today, beginning of September to today. So that's a month and a half. If you add all of those up in terms of hours, you've got only 3 to 4 days of full work. And that's a generous estimate because a lot of it is private meetings and a rugby match. And I'm sure if you looked at the previous months, it would be pretty much exactly the same. Oh, I'm sorry. This actually goes all the way back until August 1st. So this is across 2.5 months. 2.5 months. That's shameful. Over 2.5 months, 3 to 4 days of work. Work shy indeed. This is more than work shy. And how do you justify this? There is no justification for this. Yeah, this is why they wanted Meghan to be 50% of herself. Because what is this? utterly shameful. And so now, as predicted, William and Kate pop up. And where do they pop up? In Northern Ireland. I guess with Natasha gone, there's no one to steal Meghan's looks, because I know that there's plenty of looks to steal. So we're back to coat dresses and dull colours. Lottie, you said, when Meghan comes into that other family, I wonder, did Harry have any money because he didn't have any shoes? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Harry really leveled up. Let's see. Hooves, not shoes. Are you talking about Camilla? Anywho, here's Kate and William doing I don't know what in Northern Ireland. We're throwing a bag. We're also doing something with hay. Maybe Camilla was there. Maybe they were feeding Camilla. Looks like Kate's doing all the work with the hay, while William just stands there. Now, this appearance was not announced. Their excuse is that it's security. That's why they're not announcing their appearances anymore. Now, that's very rich, considering they don't want to give Harry security. So they need security, but Harry doesn't need security. And also, I believe that's all BS, because they have faced a lot of protest. Republic has said that they will be pretty much everywhere Charles is, and they haven't let us down. I believe the real reason they're not telling us is not because of security. I don't believe that. I just think they're embarrassed that they could meet protests. They're embarrassed that people really aren't coming out to see them the way they used to. So let's have a read. This is, I'll read an article from Celeb Bitchy. Prince William and Kate made a surprise appearance in Northern Ireland. I'm also just not surprised that they decided to come out the house and do a joint appearance. Finally. Because you just know those the plates in the palace are breaking every single time Harry and Meghan are out the house. And especially after Paris. And now New York and Washington, baby. Anyway, there are conversations online about why the Prince and Princess of Wales events are so often surprises or unannounced. There are many reasons. 1, security is legitimately a factor. 2, they don't want to give Republic any kind of notice in case anti-monarchists stage protests or demonstrations outside the event. 3, William and Kate are barely getting any crowds these days, even for events which are announced. So unannounced events are their way of explaining why so few people come out for William and Kate. And granted, people do actually still come out for Charles. The problem is that the protesters also come out for Charles. And they're always there in the picture. So that's also becoming a problem. Of course, there's another one which is only discussed on social media. William and Kate like to keep their schedules pretty open out of laziness, but they feel the need to move quickly and schedule emergency events whenever the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are scheduled to appear somewhere. This also. So because they don't know, or they often don't know, or they have short notice when Harry and Meghan are going to do stuff, it just leaves things open to last minute events. The problem is that these last minute events have no structure and no consistency in relation to the so-called charity work that William and Kate do. You already have a problem with consistency, where they don't follow up with the charities that they work with. Kate was called out live on Zoom call because she hadn't visited one charity, I think it was for like 8 or 9 years, and then she just suddenly popped up on a Zoom call. So they've known for several days that Meghan is appearing at Fortune Summit in DC. So William and Kate turn up in Northern Ireland today. Surprise! So they visited the fire rescue services. And they did a drill where William and Kate were asked to throw a float to a casualty, played by an instructor, from the side fast-flowing river simulator, according to The Sun. However, neither was able to reach the person with their tosses. Of course not. These people wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire, let alone throw you a float. They're just pitiful, my God. And could they be any more obvious? There was a viral TikTok making the rounds over the weekend where a British woman was like, it's so obvious what they're doing and why. Whenever Harry and Meghan are doing anything, William and Kate rush around with their dumb ass photo ops and stunts. How are these two the whole ass future king and queen? Indeed. How? And not only do they just randomly show up to try and one up Harry and Meghan, they also do the similar things. I'm not even kidding. This is them also at their appearances the last 2 days, cooking what? The same type of pie that Meghan was making, apple pie. Literally the same. The same shape, same apple pie. Also, somebody pointed this out. Notice how the body language experts just disappear when it comes to William and Kate. One of the strongest non-verbal cues of connection is how two people stand in relation to each other. Parallel feet usually suggest synchrony and shared focus. Divergent angles, especially when combined with physical space, often indicate emotional and relational distance, a silent signal of separation even when standing side by side. This is true. Body language expert, the body language expert that got their certificate from Groupon, but they're not wrong. Especially when you compare to Harry and Meghan's body language when they're together. Also, I didn't manage to get it in time because literally I saw somebody post it just as I was coming on live. But there's a video the same day, same appearance, where Kate tries to put her hand just gently by William's back, and he literally whips her hand off. Like he just forgets that the cameras are right there. I said a long time ago that Kate is still trying to play the game and keep up appearances. William gave up a long time ago. William's not even playing anymore. Like, he's done. And I don't really even think at this point they even have to try, because I still believe that a lot of people are still falling for the fairy tale. Like, they can't see what's right in front of them. So why would they try that hard? Like, compare this to this. You just can't. There is obviously love in one picture and no love in the other, which is sad, but it's just the truth. And this is a downfall of their own making. It's not anybody else's fault. It's a downfall of their own making. And now they're out here trying to compete cooking pastries, copying the sister-in-law that's on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. Please. It is so sad. This is a future king and queen. And we're out here just cooking pastries. I keep saying that the other royals need to stop trying to compete where they can't compare. And stop trying to just focus on trying to be useful. Like, if they would actually stop being so greedy, maybe give more of the money from the duchy to charities that are doing impactful work, even that would be better than what we're doing now. What are we doing now? If I'm a member of the British public, I'm struggling to pay my bills, my wages aren't meeting inflation, and I look at this, the future king and queen. What am I looking at here? Stacey, hello. The airline that flew empty and the Cambridge is reportedly going bankrupt. Oh yes, we will never forget when they flew empty planes to try and one up Harry and Meghan. Ridiculous. That was Simon Case. How's Simon Case doing? The last I heard, he was having neurological problems or something. The biggest slime bag in government. Karma knows everybody's address. Yeah, they're bringing hay back for Camilla's nightly snack. Indeed, that's what they're doing. Robin, did I see the video of Kate making a wig in Ireland? No, I did not. No, I did not. I think I will spare myself from seeing that video. Oh my gosh, now TMCD, you're saying it's hilarious. Oh gosh, now I need to go watch it. I haven't seen that viral video that Celebrity was talking about of people, talking about how obviously Kate and William are just copying Harry and Meghan, but the fact that it's just so obvious to people now. Yeah, their schedule is usually empty and only gets filled when Harry and Meghan are working. It seems like now. They were already drip feeding this idea of the work from palaces royals, the work from home royals, some time ago. And here we are. Yes, elegant. Meghan is great for supporting women. She walks that walk, but always has. She has always walked that walk. All right, folks. I think that's all from me. I'm just gonna go through your comments. Thank you, Kevin Slims. Thank you, everyone who donates to Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal. Much appreciated as always. Susie Q. Yeah, no shame. No shame at all. Yeah, Meghan was always destined to succeed from the time she wrote that letter. And she knew that she could make change at that young age. And it carried with her all the way up until now into adult life. Here we are doing interviews at Fortune summits with other very powerful women. It was written in the stars for her. Thank you so much, Elegant Pause. Yes, please go to the Duchess of Success. Oh, no. On TikTok, it is not Duchess of Success. It is, I think it's Duchess of Success Daily on TikTok. Yes, Duchess of Success Daily on TikTok. Thank you very, very much. I really want to grow the TikTok on the TikTok because I'm enjoying the short form content. And once I'm moving from where I am very soon. I will have just better space to be able to make more short form content. So just give me 2 weeks and prepare to be sick of me. We're gonna run these TikTok streets. Elaine, hope they were better. Hey Elaine, hope they were better than the pancakes. They actually did look better than the pancakes. Those infamous pancakes that Kate tried to flip. I'm gonna make like a bingo card on things that they're gonna copy. Meghan's outfits. Let's see, what stuff do we have in the UK that's similar to Fortune? I don't know. Like the Financial Times Summit. Okay, we're gonna see Kate at the Financial Times Summit. Oh, hey, Puzzle Dot. Coming in at the end. Sorry, we are finishing, but get the replay squad. They will be on standby for the entire month of November. Indeed. Don't be surprised if you see them on the Great British Bake Off or something like that. So we're going to see them copy all of Meghan's outfits. We'll see them on the Great British Bake Off. We'll see them at the Financial Times Summit. Exactly. If she had never married Harry, we would have still seen her. The world was seeing her. Just because someone isn't famous to you doesn't mean they're not famous. Even is it tonight? Meghan has a gala at the Natural History Museum. Is there an event that I'm forgetting about or something? Because I don't remember that she had something else. Let me just check. Because y'all have mentioned something in LA twice, and I feel like there's just something I'm missing. Oh my gosh, there is actually something else I'm missing though. The Signal Awards. Have I even got it on? Oh, I'm forgetting it because I never put it on a slide. But congratulations to Meghan for winning the Signal Award. She won the Signal Award for Confessions of a Female Founder in business genre and entrepreneurs. She won the Gold Award for that. And also Emma Grade, she also won an award. So congratulations to her. I think she won the silver for best new podcast or something like that. So congratulations to Meghan and Lemonada Media. So sorry, I actually forgot to mention that as well. I just somehow, I think I just didn't. No, I did put it on the slide. The slide just didn't download. But yeah, some other good news. Fantastic. Another major win for Meghan's podcast, which also, well, Archetypes won the People's Choice Award in 2022 and the Gracie Award in 2023. So another win. I can't wait to see what Meghan has next. Any guesses for what her next podcast will be, or do you think the next one will be Harry? I'm trying to think. The first one was about talking about the stereotypes that hold us back. Second one, women in business. Third one, women in adventure. Yes, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see for the third one. Meghan's team, if you're listening, I want to see women in adventure. I want to hear female Everest climbers, scuba divers, explorers. Now that would be awesome. Bring it on. Thank you so much, Elaine Parker. Yes, Meghan's podcast won. Thank you. Oh, the gala was cancelled? I must be out of the loop because I can't even remember that there was meant to be a gala. Wait, was this gala linked to the fortune thing? Sorry, I feel like I'm a bit out of the loop with that one. Oh, they had to reschedule because of the demonstration with with them people. Them people. We won't say who they are. Yeah, why are the UK pocket watching a woman who's not taxpayer funded? They keep trying to force this narrative that Harry and Meghan are still getting money from the taxpayers' purse strings, and they're finding subtle ways like this to do it. Oh, Michelle Obama also won a Signal Award. Thank you for mentioning that. Congratulations. Is that the podcast that she has with her brother? Oh, the gala was for the museum in LA. Oh, okay. Well, that's a shame that it was cancelled. That would have been nice to see Meghan again. All right, I'm truly going to end things there. Back with you guys tomorrow, and please don't forget Sunday is going to be an absolute blast. Gonna have Brian from Sussex Squad Family TV. Get your questions and discussion points ready. Should be lots of fun. See you later, folks. Ciao.